I find my book of clips.
Go. What is going on, everybody? This is the Cloud9 podcast, season 6, episode 19. The season is underway, and we are going to be having a great show for you guys tonight because we are going to be getting in our last final LCS 2023 spring split predictions. I'll be going a little bit over the LEC, just a little bit, and then we're going to be covering the games that we ended up watching from the LPL and the LCK. Like I told you guys in the other episode this week and last week, the first Cloud9 podcast episode covering the 2023 League of Legends season will be on the LPL and the LCK because they obviously start first. And last night, if you guys didn't get a chance to watch Hanwha Life versus Kwangdong Freaks, game 1, super exciting. I know, like, even we talked about, like, can Zeka, keep up that Worlds 2022 performance? Yes, he can, and he definitely was putting that team on his back. What an absolute beast. What got into him? He was not that good on, like, Vici. He was not that good on BLG. Comes to DRX, it kind of shaky all last year. Comes to Worlds, plays out of his mind, and then is still currently playing out of his mind, which is absolutely insane. I am so proud of him. And he can keep up that level of a performance. But before we go over that, there's a few announcements I want to actually make to you guys. So initially the plan for this season was to do a prediction series, which is going to be called Competitive Predictions, where, we just have a basic prediction series where we're talking about the upcoming matches of the week, obviously. That's probably not going to end up happening for the foreseeable future because I am currently really busy right now trying to get other things done, not just on this channel, but my main YouTube channel as well. We have some really big movie projects coming up, and Chaz's schedule is also likely changing. So the extra time that we would have to do that is not going to really just be a thing. So what I will end up doing is we're going to have 2 Cloud9 podcast episodes a week. What I'm thinking about doing is, or initially the plan is, having a Cloud9 podcast episode on Monday and Tuesday, with the LCS one being first because the LCS starts on Thursday. The LCS coverage would have to go first because the LCS start time is on Thursday now, So LCS has to come first. And then talking about the LEC, I was going to do that with Warren on Tuesday, But unless Chaz wants to talk about the LEC as well, which we're going to watch this week anyway, which is honestly up to him. So the Cloud9 podcast moving forward are going to be on Monday and Tuesday, LCS and LEC. Now, people are going to probably ask, like, what time? I'm currently right now, we're working on, 8 p.m. PST for the LCS show, right? That's kind of the running time right now. And as you guys know, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast runs on that too. So we wouldn't be having an LCS Cloud9 podcast for long. We would actually be having a show for about around an hour, 30 minutes, hour to 20 minutes, actually. Go in, talk about the teams, and, just talk about our thoughts on the, matches of the week, going over the production, all that stuff, right? So moving forward, that's kind of the update. I'll do a channel update video smaller than about 10 minutes or 9 minutes breaking down everything. But just for anyone who's watching this live, is that there's going to be 2 Cloud9 podcast episodes a week, one covering the LCS, one covering the LEC. And then if we want to obviously cover the LPL or the LCK games, we're going to do those in those days. Now, that's not saying that later on that week, I can't have an episode covering LPL and LCK. What it's basically saying is I have to free up this Thursday coming up. The reason why I have to free up Thursdays coming up is because I'm trying to, like, go back and watch movies on Thursday. I'm not saying I'm burnt out streaming, but I want to make sure I have that day because Thursdays is when new movie releases come out, and I want to make sure I have that day to go and watch the new movie releases because I got to review the movies. So there's a reason why I ended up, moving the Cloud9 podcast days up, actually. So you are going to be getting your content the first part of the week, covering the major regions, and then that's essentially it. And then we just, rinse, wash, repeat. That's essentially it. So you have the Cloud9 podcast Monday and one Tuesday. Like I said before, 2 episodes a week. So for my prediction series, what I'm going to end up doing is I'll end up going into my community tab and then covering the big match of the weeks for all the major regions. That's what I'm going to end up doing. But begin this show, we're going to do our final LCS 2023 spring split predictions. There's been so many people out there making all these crazy hot takes and everything, and it's just fucking insane. But what's going on, man? How you doing? What do you think?
Well, I'm doing good, man. See, my thing, it depends on what my schedule is, because at this moment, it's all up in the air. And I'm like, okay, let me figure out what the hell I need to do that I can maneuver around this, because if it's going to be some BS, I'm going to just go to a more solidified schedule where I'll probably have nights off, But, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. Just trying to get shit.
Like I told Chaz, hey, the season started. We were even watching the DK DRX series, and that is a series to talk about. I'll tell you that right now. That is a series to talk about when we get to it. But yeah, nothing else ended up happening really that big. But for the LCS, okay, so if anyone's watching this right now, I currently have a big video that is coming out that should have came out a few days ago, but I messed up on editing it, so it's going to come out later on tomorrow, or it'll come out on Saturday. The biggest news, as they did it, I even said this in my Cloud9 podcast episode, I think a few weeks ago, where you know how it was revealed that the LCS start times are going to be changing?
Yep.
We're going to be 12 o'clock and 3 your time. They were like, you know what? We're going to change them. They changed them to the exact time I said. 2 o'clock for us, which would be 5 o'clock for you. They legitimately did it. I'm glad Riot somewhat listens to the fans. Now, I don't really buy all that bullshit where they're actually going to be like hearing the fans and shit like that. I'm gonna need some more consistency on that, because they've been saying that for there's just been literally no communication from these people for so long. I mean, doing like a few good things doesn't really win me over. You're gonna have to do a little bit more with that. But if you guys don't know, the LCS start times have changed. They're going to be doing 2 p.m. PSTs, which is 5 p.m. EST for you guys on the East Coast, actually. Thursdays and Fridays. And obviously the LEC is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then you get your LCK and LPL. We have League 7 days a week, and I am super happy about that. That's pretty much it. I have a whole video covering all that stuff anyway. And I'll be releasing this to you guys very, very soon, either tomorrow or I'll be getting it out to you guys on Saturday. But yeah, I'm glad they're putting the timing at 2 o'clock, because remember how we were watching the season kickoff event and shit? Yeah, on YouTube, them viewers, when it peaked out when the event was about to end after an hour, that shit was like 5,500 people. On Twitch, it was like, what, 40K? It's probably better to test that in an actual split, because Riot were so hell-bent on that. They did a lot of research that this was going to be the best thing moving forward. They weren't even confident in that in themselves, So that's the shaky thing you have to kind of see there, is they were really all inning on this new time slots for the LCS, But if you have a lot of these people who are investing into these LCS orgs, who are investing obviously into their teams, they're gonna feel kind of uneasy about the timing shift, because let's be honest here, a lot of us couldn't have even watched it. Even I couldn't even watch, really. I literally would have been able to probably watch most of Thursday. I would have been able to watch, but Friday for sure I would have literally missed everything.
Thursday, I would have been working. Friday, I would have been free to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, that's the thing people gotta understand, is I mean, I am glad they changed it. Like that is the timing change is fine. Like literally, I was fine with the days shifting themselves. I was fine with the days themselves. I just wasn't a fan of the timing. The timing was really bad, actually. So yeah, I'm glad they did that, and that is actually something that is going to be a bit easier on people in terms of the stress level for some of these teams actually to understand. Hey, I guess the company. I mean, I don't know. Like if you watch Travis's video when he's interviewing these people, yeah, it's a lot of backwards fucking answers, and there's a lot of like backtracking, like not a lot of standing on your ground and like answering why you make the decisions in the first place if you're gonna backtrack this fast.
No, because you're testing it. You're seeing how other people are reacting. Like, should we just move it back? It's like,
yeah,
that happens. I'm like, okay.
Smash the like button. Also, if you guys are watching, smash the like button. 5 likes is the goal, as always. You know.
Now up to us to watch.
Right. 5 likes is the goal, and then I love C900. These sucks. Okay, there we go. Make sure that's a poll, and that's gonna be that. Osei, that's not even a word. Oh my god. Okay, so that's pretty much the announcements there, and yeah. Other than that, we can start going over our final LCS 2023 spring split predictions. I know we talked about these teams about a few weeks ago when we did our power rankings with James actually. So I've seen a few people have their predictions on FlyQuest, right? And I know a lot of people are hyped about the FlyQuest roster because of Vikla and Prince and Impact, actually. Yeah. There's a big problem when it comes to a lot of these rosters that a lot of people hype up just off player name alone, is that the reason why some of them don't initially work out is because the synergy of the players themselves wouldn't really be there, right?
Yeah.
So Spica as a player is kind of like a hybrid carry team orientated jungler. He really didn't know what lane to really play through on TSM outside of tactical, right? So with this team, he's gonna just essentially play through Prince, and that would be a better ADC to play through than tactical. I think having Impact is good. I think Impact is great. Impact is one of the most not even just one of the most underrated top laners, one of the most disrespected top laners. Like, teams will win with this guy, go to international tournaments with him, and you're not going to win anyways playing with NA teams anyway. He's just always winning trophies. He's always at the top. There's been like, one split in like the last, how many splits he's competed in the LCS where he's been legitimately out of playoffs? Like, I think he's only literally missed playoffs twice since he's been in the LCS. One was back in 2015 in spring when he was on goddamn Tip. No, not Tip. It was on NRG. When he was on NRG back in 2016 spring at the LCS, he missed playoffs, and he missed playoffs during the LCS 2020 spring split when Double Live had a collapse in his brain when he said spring didn't matter, and TL missed playoffs actually. So yeah, Impact's rarely ever missed playoffs. Super reliable player. I'm glad FlyQuest finally got a top laner like him. They've always needed a player like that guy. The Spica pickup, I mean, I got to go before in my video that I did when I reacted to the news of Bjergsen, Double Lift, and Closer joining like 100 Thieves, right? With Double Lift, Spica, Bjergsen, I was like, please, for the love of God, do not pick Spica. Jeez, holy Christ. And these didn't. These did not, because they realized, wait a minute, it would have to be something along the lines of they know Closer has a higher ceiling than him, and it's just a much better player.
No, it was all about money at the end of the day. It came down to, okay, we're either keeping it, because I think no matter what, Spica was like,
I don't think it was ever an option, though. I think that was just a rumor.
He was never an option, because it was like, okay, we want Tenacity up, but we can't put him at jungle because he's not gonna say he's not bad. He's not bad at jungle, but he's bad at top. It's all right. It's like some days costing a little too much for what we want to do this year. And Closers don't. It was like, okay, we gotta keep one of these two. That's what it came down to. It was Speaker. It was never an option because of double lift in Beerson. I think once they officially signed to One Disease, the Speaker was never gonna go there. He was never an option. I think what it was is Speaker was on that list because they wanted to see if double lift is Beerson decide if Beerson said I'm going back to coaching or I'm retired, and double lift never came out. Speaker goes to One Disease. Like, but probably not. Like that was.
This is how I see it. I don't think he was like. I think he was an option potentially because remember how LEC Wulo broke the news that they allowed Closer to look for options along with Abadage. So I think he was potentially an option.
But it was a bluff. Also, it was a bluff.
People don't. Yes, that's the thing. They don't. People. Do you realize that they do that in sports a lot too? They like sometimes they tell players, "Hey, go and try and seek an offer, but I still might actually keep you because it gauges the interest in the market. And if Closer himself doesn't see any better offers on the market, why not just stay? You know."
Plus, when Speaker comes out and says that he wanted to play with anybody from that TSM team and what was the year he had that big gaffe in the playoffs or in Worlds?
Only went 0-6, 2020.
Yeah, he said he's not playing with anybody from that team ever again. There's a clip.
Most likely because when you play with veteran players, they're very, very unwilling to move away from a play style they already know and how they want to play the game. They're very secure in that. That's most likely what he means. But then again, people need to also understand the fact that that TSM roster wasn't really that good anyway. It was LCS was very, very bad. It's actually really surprising how they won, considering the fact that a lot of teams that were better, even ones that weren't technically better by such a long shot, just ape shit through so fucking hard.
No, there's an actual clip of
that's what I brought up earlier. Is like if he's bringing this up, you gotta be thinking to yourself like, God damn. He wouldn't even play with double lift again, given the chance to play with double lift, and he won a title with this guy.
Yeah,
he won a title with double lift. Like he's won his only trophy playing with double lift and Beerson, and he was like, you know what? I'm not playing with those two ever again.
Here's the video. I
all right, give me 1 second. Play it right now. That's pretty spicy. I did not see that. That's spicy. I need to have.
Because he was streaming, and I thought, I'm like, okay, it was live. Then I saw what happened. I was like,
he's not saying it's in a joking context, right?
Nah.
Okay. Give me 1 second. We'll put the video right now for anyone who's watching. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure because on the YouTube channel side, the newest episode that we're streaming right now wasn't showing up as the newest one. Need to make sure I had that. Okay, so newest episode is showing up, and we are going to be going over the video that Chaz wants to go over. All right. Okay. We also need to make sure we know this too. Remember, he was gonna re-sign with TSM, but he tried to get an extra 100K added to his contract, and they were like, no. Now, I do agree. He's been there for a bit. Like, he probably wants to get paid a good amount of money, being the, basically the franchise player of TSM, being the player that's essentially, like, kept them as good as they are. Like, even this past year, like, I didn't really think he played that good, all things considered. Like, but I don't think he was trash by any. He had some pop-off games there. I'd imagine being on TSM for a good amount, like, what, 3... He was there since 2019, 2019 summer, so 2020. Well, yeah, he probably wants to get some good money now. And people got to factor in. Same thing happened with El Yoya. He wanted to get some good money. Someday wanted to get some good money. It's like you guys got to factor in some of these players. They play for an OR for so long, and they're on like their initial contract that they signed. That's gonna be on some lower deal compared to what you would get potentially if you went and explored on the open market. Actually, I remember the whole TSM drama with Spica was that he wanted to renegotiate his contract because his contract was over, and all he wanted to stay on TSM, which is a bit more money on his contract, and they wouldn't even fork up 100K just for Spica. Now, I know a lot of people said, well, why wouldn't they just do that for Spica? He's like their franchise player. So you guys know I don't like TSM at all, but I don't think Spica's gameplay from 2022 basically was warranting a 100K increase on his contract. I'm just saying. Like, looking at his gameplay, the guy who was... he had some really sus games there. Like, he wasn't even the best... Not even the best jungler. He's very spotty throughout the year. I'm not saying he's bad. He was just okay, right? I don't think that kind of a pay increase is warranted for a player of that caliber just in that year's performance. Now, I know he's been the MVP before. I know he said he's not a bad jungler. I just didn't think TSM made the wrong move in terms of not giving him more money. It's like you're giving more money to a guy that had a pretty subpar 2022. You know? It's like if you're going to give 100K to if you're going to give 100K to any player, why not just give it to an actual name brand jungler that's going to also be a potential carry threat? But then TSM go to the Mexico League to sign Boogie. And I'm sitting there going like, okay, you're going to go to the fucking gulag to sign a goddamn player. Why not just pay Spica the extra money then? I'd rather just give Spica an extra 100K than go find some random than, like, what do you do? I mean, if this guy is going to sit there and pop off on TSM, great. You get this guy on a cheap contract. You probably sign up for a couple years. TSM will make playoffs, probably get knocked out at a random round of the playoffs randomly, but it's one of those things of like, you're not going to give this guy extra money and he wants to stay in your org and play in your org, but you're going to go get some random from some fucking gulag league. It's like, TSM and making bad decisions in a more iconic duo. Jesus flipping Christ, man. It's so dumb, dude. Oh, Lord. All right. And this org, it's like, yeah, we want to be competitive. We want to, still make playoff. Mother effers are keeping solo on their roster. It's like when Immortals make a little off-season videos. They're like, we want to do better this year. We want to, invest in coaching and infrastructure. That's all great, but you have Revenge on your roster. And you have Kenvi on your roster as well. I'm just saying, like, these players have been putting up some pretty average, like, subpar performances. And I don't think these performances warrant these players of being on the roster. Also, if you're going to get the performances you've been getting out of, Revenge and Kenvi, I would simply just go and get different players. Now, they're going to have to go and get potentially local NA talent because they probably don't have a big budget for Immortals. But if you're getting that kind of performance out of Revenge and Kenvi, I would simply either just get academy players or potentially buy a player cheaper that does the same thing, but just a bit better in potentially certain areas. So here was this video that Chaz wanted me to play. I did not even see this actually, so I'm glad he brought this up. All right, so the initial tweet says, many of you are curious why I did not join 100 Thieves with Bjergsen and Doublelift. So I want to give some context. The reunion was going to happen until I remember what these boomers did to me at the 2020 League of Legends World Championship, and I had to reconsider. He did do a 5-man Lilia. I can't ever pronounce Lilia. Lilia sleep. TSM sees that, does nothing. Oh, it's actually even worse after that. That's not even the worst thing they even did in that game. That's how they threw that fucking game. But let me go over this. Is this meant to be a meme? Because this has been a meme for a while.
But see how he put 102 C's? He was joking.
Okay. Let's see what he said.
Oh, no, it's not, that was the clip, and then they show why he won. It's just him replaying what happened.
Okay.
Because it was mostly just a tweet, and he was like, how he did this. He stunned him, and then he didn't do shit. He was like, yeah. Because
what's also worse in this game? I'll actually show you this game. It's so egregious to watch. It's so troll. Like, the fact that people even thought TSM was even going to do anything at this world is ridiculous. The legendary TSM 9-man sleep. Yeah, 4 of his teammates didn't do well since this is their last game. Just so sad that they didn't do their best. Yeah. There was so much here. Like, even in this game, actually, I think I have this game still in my playlist. To Genji, Worlds 2020.
Worlds. I was gonna say Worlds.
Nivea. So this is the game you're probably talking about. Which is the one? This one he plays Lucian. Genji was TSM 2 years ago. It would have to be the one. Yep, this is the one. where he plays. Yeah, this is the one. This is like some troll shit right here. I don't know what the fuck I was watching. I don't know what Beerson was smoking. And people keep capping over this guy. And it blows my brains. All right, this is playing Lucian. So early on in the game, for who's remembering this, early on in the game, TSM were winning the game. This is like one of the best early games they had at the tournament. Not saying much because Genji, they could be pretty spotty. You know? Like Beerson actually carrying a game. God forbid. Broken Blade getting solo kills. It's like, okay, you're doing pretty good. Then you have the whole 9-man sleep, right? So I want people to literally look at what these fucking choke artists are doing at one part of this game. So Speaker, as you can clearly see right there, is still on the Baron, right? So then Broken Blade randomly goes in, uses his ult, fucking throws it. Then, as you can see right there, they could literally still get the Baron, but no, Ruler steals it, right? That's not even the worst thing they did. I want you people to directly watch what Beerson does, this complete fucking troll, dude. This is some troll shit right here. I'd be mad if I was him too. Look at this. Okay, so as you're watching this fight, let me play it in slow. How do you play things in slow motion on YouTube? You go here, you go playback speed, right? Normal.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yep.
About there. Okay, so what's all wrong here? There's so much all wrong here. Look at this team fight. Okay, so Speaker's right there. Arguably, you could say they shouldn't be doing the Baron anyway. Okay? Right? They should be doing Baron anyway. But look at what Beerson does. Okay, I want you to be able to look at Beerson. What does he have? Beerson has his ult up. He could use it right now, kill it. They get Baron. Doublelift has his ult. It's right there. He did not use it. And his flash. Beerson and Doublelift both have their flat. Well, Doublelift has his flash and his ultimate. Beerson has culling. Remember, Ruler got the Baron. Not even Clid. With the Smite got it. And they're just not helping him. What are they... Like, this is one of the... This is the... And why are they leaving? They have a poke comp with Aphelios and Lucian. Why are they leaving? What are you doing? This is some troll shit. And why is Doublelift there when you have a freaking Tom Kench and a Aura next to you? It's like... I mean, like, if anyone could defend how bad that is, you don't need to be talking about it at any point. But that's the game. I mean, it's worse than that. But yeah, they basically started off winning. The Lily Asleep would have won the game. They didn't fall up on Lily Asleep. Then they got the Baron stolen when Beerson and Doublelift were clearly trolling and clearly could have helped him steal it. Help the security, not steal it. Secure it because they were actually engaging with it. So yeah, that's that. For 100 Thieves, okay. I don't think the roster itself. It's hard to really say what the roster is going to really do. Like on one,
it's hard to say, it's kind of hard to say what a lot of these rosters are going to do because I'm not going to lie.
But this is what I know what's going to happen. If Beerson and Doublelift do not perform very well in this roster, there's a domino effect that would happen in the LCS. Beerson himself said he didn't really get a lot of offers after Team Liquid, and rightfully so. He kind of played like shit. So he knows this is kind of maybe like his last hurrah to do well, right? Like, If he doesn't win any title this year, if he doesn't even go to MSI as a top 2 team or go to Worlds,
I don't think if they don't go to Worlds or at least compete for, like, at a high standing
or get
Worlds,
a finals. I mean, or at least get to a finals,
or at least losers final. They don't even get a chance to compete for a final.
Yeah,
I think Beerson's career is over.
I think he'll just retire again. Like that's my ultimatum for the team is it's basically you got to win one of the splits this year. Go to MSI, maybe in spring. At the very worst, you go to MSI or as a console. Not what that
World.
MSI be a consolation prize. Worlds would be an ultimate goal.
Because I don't even think they give a fuck about MSI.
Like if they went, I think they'd be happy with it and going a second team. I think they'd be like that would be like okay, at least you went to an international event. At least you went. And Doublelift likes playing against international caliber competition. But I think if they didn't do well at spring, I don't think it would be like the hugest detriment to them because sometimes in spring, some teams just don't get it together. Meta reasons, a lot of shit. Summer, if they don't even qualify for Worlds, well, if they don't qualify for Worlds, that's just a fat fucking L. But remember, people, they play for the 4th seed this year. So if 100 Thieves just misses out on top 3 and going to Worlds, you could play for that 4th seed against EU's 4th seed. Now, if they lose that 4th place match, that's probably when you got to start switching shit up. So that's my thing. If Double doesn't do well this year, and Double and Bjergsen need to win championships, guys. It's not like you're talking about fucking Golden Guardian players and Immortal players.
Yeah.
No. These guys want to. And even the org, like an org will tell you this shit. And it's really weird because the people start harping on nonsensical external factors don't mean shit. These guys for this roster want to win. They have rookie players because not only are they cheaper, but they see the potential high upsides in them if they can kind of mold them into being what they want to be, right? But they're going to have their own style with it too. So thinking to themselves, someday, well, I'd imagine the reason why they didn't sign him because they probably thought he's going to cost a lot of money. And maybe they think he's getting a bit older, so he's going to probably suck, which I think is just totally wrong.
No, I don't think it was the oldest thing. I think it was money.
That's actually a thing, dude. A lot of teams do that, actually.
But I'm looking at from what 100 Thieves is doing. It was definitely money because they had a lot of layoffs this year, and and some of their content creators have quit or they went part time. Like now, what they're trying to do is, I think with all their esports teams, they're trying to turn them into content creators. That's why I guess Double Up is able to like stream now. He's able to stream.
As I said before, we can act like we are fans of other teams. We're all TSM fans.
I mean, not me, but then again, like,
oh god, but yeah, that's the thing here with 100 Thieves is like we saw the kickoff event with Busio. I mean, I think the kickoff event was good for him because, like I told people before, playing on stage is much different than scrims. That's the thing. Anyone was watching this. For any year you're watching League, not just this year.
But even those kickoff games, that was something you couldn't really
call that a glorified. You could call that basically a glorified scrim. Now
it was a glorified scrim because some of them took it way too. I'm not gonna say way too seriously, but it was like you could tell why they were there. Some just didn't give a fuck.
Like right now, the G2 team that they built with Han Sama, even from Team Liquid with Caps. Right now, people are saying that's one of the best teams in scrims. Guys, I've heard scrim gods. I mean, basketball teams, some of them play very well in practice, but choke on stage. Scrims essentially mean nothing, right? For the most part, scrims essentially mean nothing, but you have to give it in the context of what split you're talking about. There's some splits where obviously some teams are so good that in scrims other teams just forfeit all their whole matches over. But for the most part, like the scrim meme is such a big thing in the community. Like all that matters is playing on stage because sometimes teams on stage play differently. And I think him playing on stage was good for him to get those nerves out of the way, initially being on the stage, because you wouldn't want that to happen in the opening matchup against Cloud9. You wouldn't want this guy being like, oh, I don't know if I can go in and do all this stuff. It's good to have that. Now, what will he be doing? Or what champion will he be playing when it comes next Thursday, right?
That's different when you've been working with a teammate than someone you just probably met like 48 hours prior.
Also, he can't really talk to Berserker either. He can't talk to Berserker. What if he's Korean?
That's why you just there, and all right, cool. Whatever team, because usually it's like the coach or whatever the coach they have. They write down a list of champions. All right, these are the champions that you guys want to go for. All right, cool. And then boom, that's it.
And that's the thing with the kickoff event. People need to realize there was no
it was literally all coaches. It was literally all of them just writing down what champions they wanted to play, which games, and it was like, all right, cool. This, all right, cool. It's like,
all right. So we're gonna go over some of these matchups too. So I guess for competitive prediction, we're gonna have to still predict the series on here, which I really wouldn't really want to do, but we'll have to do them actually. So those are my things with 100 Thieves. I mean, I think Closer is still gonna be one of the best junglers. That's not going to be down in my mind. I've been a fan of that guy since he came to the LCS when I think he was still the best jungler. Still not really hot on Bjergsen. I'm just not. Like, I think he'll be a good mid laner for whatever standard the LCS considers good. But I think last year he didn't even look good in a field of bad mid laners. I hate what he's going to look like now with Vikla, Gory. I mean, Jensen is competing against him. I guess they can compete against each other for being who's going to be less of a choker, I guess, now. So, that matchup between Someday versus 100 Thieves, that's going to be pretty spicy, actually. I cannot wait for that one. So let's go over some of these matchups. So let's do it right now, boys. So now, Thursday, January 26th, the LCS 2023 Spring Split kicks off. The very first match is a rematch of the LCS 2022 Summer Split Finals, 100 Thieves versus Cloud9. Can 100 Thieves get the revenge against Cloud9 in the opening matchup of the season? Who takes it? Jeez, I don't know.
I think Cloud9 takes it, but it's gonna be
It's gonna actually be a really close game.
It's gonna be close.
Now, I will say Cloud9, specifically not because I'm a fan. I think it's gonna take 100 Thieves the next game to get on stage and go through how they want to play the game. But to be fair, it might take weeks for these teams to know how they're gonna play. So I will say Cloud9 wins the opening matchup.
I think Cloud9
can't take revenge this time around. 100 Thieves. I hope they get their revenge next time around. But I mean, if 100 Thieves,
I do gotta wait for 100 Thieves will win. But honestly, that's a toss up for me. Because that one's like a coin flip. Because I think
even if they have better players on paper, they still have not played on stage.
They haven't played on stage, but that middle laner for C9 is such a question.
That's the problem too. If Bjergsen comes in and just completely claps him because he's just completely new, that's a big edge for them. Actually,
that's why to me it literally just comes down to
if Diplex chokes hard on stage, then Cloud9 would lose. Well, not even just lose.
It literally comes down to the micro stuff. It comes down to how everyone lanes, the team fights. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to the small stuff that makes a difference.
Okay. I'll say Cloud9 win this match.
I go Cloud9, but it's gonna be one of those where it's gonna be one last team fight that it goes in Cloud9's favor. But like Cloud9 will get. I believe both Cloud9 and 100 Thieves will get exposed in this game. That they got massive weaknesses.
I think one of the biggest issues is, as you guys know, Diplex is his first stage game. Like I've mentioned constantly on all these shows throughout the years. Playing in your scrims and streaming against these teams is so much different. People play so much differently on stage compared to scrims. There's some times where teams will play from scrims onto stage. That there's overlap there.
Yeah.
But Berserker Sven as a bot lane, pretty solid overall. Berserker, as you guys saw from that kickoff event, him and Prince are going to be the best ADCs in the league. Actually,
yeah.
I mean, Berserker. Now people can say it was a glorified scrim, but we saw Berserker play that well last split when the whole team was kind of like doing shit. Like, he was still performing really well despite the team looking like ass half the split.
Yeah.
So we know it's not just because he's just outshining all of them. Well, they would outshine all of them, but we know he's good individually on his own. Diplex versus Bjergsen. I mean, I don't want to give it, but Bjergsen has it right now. Until I see gameplay from Diplex, I can't say he's gonna beat him. That's just ridiculous to say. Now, Berserker and Van versus Doublelift and Busio. You know, if Busio turns on his brain and plays whatever engage support he's going to be on and actually engages good, there's a good chance. Because remember, Sven is not that good at engage supports. I mean, we saw him play engage supports at Worlds. You saw how very bad he was. Now, to be fair, people are going to be like, but let's against world-class supports. He couldn't play engage supports well at all. He could have been playing them against randoms. It really wouldn't have mattered, honestly. He Nautilus hooked into a tank next to his jungler, but they couldn't kill it. So that's another thing, too. Also, the meta right now is what? He plays Yuumi, right? So he can play Yuumi. The meta right now for supports is what? Yuumi.
But Yuumi gets banned like about 90% of the time.
Are they going to take Yuumi Sivir? Because in this game, you would have what? Yuumi Sivir as a bot lane, Lucian Nami, Zeri Yuumi. Yeah. Or what other support champions are there? I keep forgetting a lot of fucking shit.
Yuumi will probably get banned 90% of the time. Like, as long as Doublelift is on a team, he will make sure Yuumi gets banned.
Heimerdinger, I think Sven will play Heimerdinger support.
Heimerdinger's gonna be his best bet. If he plays Heimerdinger, I go C9. If
Busio plays Zach, 100 Thieves have a very good chance to win. Because I know Busio will be better at playing engaged supports.
Yep.
So, next match, Golden Guardians versus Evil Geniuses. So, how fast do you think EG is going to win this game?
EG was blindfolded. They could beat it. They could beat. I'm telling you right now. Go if Golden Guardians by any chance wins this, I have no faith in LCS.
Okay, to be fair, it's just week one. It's just 1 week.
Yeah,
Don't be pulling a Sean on me.
You should beat you always gotta beat the weak teams. The ones are bad, and the ones that are good, you learn how to counter them.
I do feel bad for Gory. I do want to see how Gory plays. I think Gory is a solid mid laner. I've seen him throughout the regions. I think he's pretty solid. Other than Gory, guys, like unless Gory gets so massively ahead against Jojo Peon, there is no way they win. Guys, they have Stixxay in 2023. Old man Bruce Wayne Stixxay. Not Bruce Wayne from The Dark Knight Returns. I'm talking like old man Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond where he can barely throw a kick. I'm talking old. Stixxay is dog shit. Someday, like this needs to be FBI's coming out party for a lot of different reasons. One of the biggest reasons why is FBI needs to still show a lot of people he is not what he was on 100 Thieves.
Yeah. Delphi last year. He has to show that who he was the reason why he kept fucking up. He has to show this because you got a lot of times. Watch some of those matches again and look who he kind of dictated what him and FBI did.
Dude, you saw in the LCK, like even you're kind of new to this. You saw how much a support can dictate how much an ADC can look in a game. Like the way Barrel was trying to make. I mean, Barrel was really trying to make Defcon look good.
Barrel was LeBron James in 2007 NBA Final. That motherfucker was trying to do everything.
Barrel was trying so hard to make Dekdom look good. You can't do it. He's just too heavy to play with.
Dekdom got smoked, but that whole thing also. Why game one do you let? Why would you let
Nami bot lane go through? And then they had nothing strong to counterpick it with. They gave you. We'll go about that later. But god damn, that draft fucking sucked. Next match, another interesting match here. FlyQuest versus Team Liquid, the all-Korean Team Liquid roster versus FlyQuest. Now, they said Ayla is not going to be able to compete week 1 because of his visa issue. He'll be able to most likely compete in week 2. So they will have to kind of start another support. Or is it going to be FlyQuest? Either FlyQuest or Team Liquid. No, it's going to be FlyQuest. FlyQuest won't be playing with Ayla. They'll be playing with Winsome. Is also not very good, even though Sean thinks he's actually pretty good. When Sean thinks a player is good, I tend to think he's shit. But this is an interesting match here. Summit makes his return to the LCS for a lot of people. Impact playing with Speaker definitely wants to show he was not as dog shit on TSM like he was.
I'm on Team Liquid in this case.
This is a weird one. I think because FlyQuest have. I'm gonna say FlyQuest on this one. This TL I think you're probably right. TL probably will win because I mean, if you guys remember this, TL had Piosik, who wasn't like the best jungler, obviously, but I think Piosik plays towards Summit.
I'll take Piosik over Speaker with ease.
That's you're right too. Yeah,
that's not even.
There's the thing. Summit also crushed Impact too.
Yeah,
but I do think FlyQuest will have better team fighting as the game moves on.
I think FlyQuest have better team fighting, but like there's gonna be mistakes that Speaker's gonna do.
Who was FlyQuest mid laner? I forgot his name. Who was their mid laner? Fuck. Who was FlyQuest's mid laner? Let me search it really quick. I legit forgot who their goddamn mid laner was.
I ain't gonna lie. I forgot who half the players on these teams were.
You'll get used to it. When you see the names repeatedly so many times, you'll get used to it. I have the same problem too.
The only team I know is Cloud9 and 100 Seas.
FlyQuest's roster. Vikla. Whoo, yeah.
That's good.
Vikla versus Harry. Nah, Vikla's gonna destroy that guy. I've talked to Harry before. We've got a video on this channel. I talked to him. He's a pretty cool dude. He did really well in Academy. People are like, well, Harry was smurfing at Academy. Great. That really just means nothing.
That's like when a player scores 75 in the G League. That's against motherfuckers that are playing at the YMCA at 4:00 and then by 5:30 they're driving down to White Plains to play for the Westchester Knicks. Like,
oh my goodness. So I'm going C9, EG, FlyQuest, CLG versus Dignitas. Now, usually, most of the time, that's a pretty terrible match to watch. Dignitas now have Jitsit, Santorin. I think this is a close matchup. I think
I'm going Dignitas, but
you think so?
Yeah. I think Jensen got a bone pick was like the whole LCS.
I'll take Dig right now. I swear, if Dig burned me in this game, because CLG do have that inbuilt synergy already, but like we mentioned
CLG
before,
had that in synergy, but at the same time,
how's that really going to go far?
That don't mean nothing. A team could run it back and run it down, or be good.
I guess that made sense, actually. Yeah. All right, I'll go Dignitas. And the final match of the day, the match of the week. This is not match of the week. This is match of the garbage. TSM versus Immortals. You know who I'm picking, guys? IMT have revenge. Probably just says it all.
I'm going Immortals mainly.
You think Immortals might actually win?
I don't got no faith in TSM. I think TSM got so many. TSM look like they got too many issues. Where it's like both of these teams are garbage. Both of these teams are
like TSM's roster. Literally, all they have is Maple and Chime, right? Yeah. Maple and Chime versus
they got
Tactical and a Blaze Olive. Oh, this is great. It's a quality match right here. Fuck.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, I'm saying TSM this time around but I don't think IMT is gonna just let them walk all over them either.
Yeah.
All right, so that's that. As you guys saw my predictions, basically just straight down and over to TSM. Friday, the next day, opening match, CLG versus Evil Geniuses. I think Evil Geniuses takes this. I think they're having a sweet 2-0 week.
EG, never close.
Cloud9 versus Golden Guardians.
Cloud9
definitely win that. This would be a pretty hyped up match some years ago.
If it was like 2018.
Pretty much, yeah. TSM versus Team Liquid.
Team Liquid
definitely going to win this.
Team Liquid, and this will be over by 25 minutes.
Summit is going to literally put his fat dildo inside of Solo. There's no world Summit will lose to Solo in any regard. CS, lane discrepancies, jungle proximity, nothing. All right. The next match, 100 Thieves versus Immortals. 100 Thieves is definitely winning this.
100 Thieves, but it's going to be closer than you think.
You think so?
I got it.
Okay, if 100 Thieves are struggling against Immortal, that's alarming.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, like, I've seen him play sometimes down to competition. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to
Juvenile,
smoke these.
I know. It's Warren. We know this is what he does.
I saw that. I was like, yo, Warren.
I don't know, he sniffs crack and he knows he shouldn't do that. But
like, see, I gotta be there, right? He knows more LEC than me because I got no idea what half these fucking teams are.
That's the thing, but it's gonna be easier as you see it week to week. You're gonna get the names over. I thought the same thing too. I can't remember no one's fucking name, but as I saw the games over and over and over again, it just becomes muscle memory at that point. Last match, FlyQuest versus Dignitas, and usually, as the LCS standards has been for some years, this usually would be trash. But both rosters have definitely improved from both organizations.
I go FlyQuest. I got FlyQuest, but like
I think Dig won this match actually.
Nah, I got FlyQuest.
I think Dig will win this one because I have FlyQuest beating Team Liquid.
I got FlyQuest beating Dig.
I'll take Dig on this one.
I got FlyQuest.
And that'll be it, right? Because it's not going to be a super week. Nope, that's it. That's our predictions for the LCS 2023 Spring Split opening week, which is going to start off next week on the 26th on Thursday. Can't wait for the season to start. And the LEC, because I know you guys are going to want my predictions on the LEC. G2 versus Fnatic in the opening matchup. So we're going to ask, what's so special about G2 versus Fnatic? I cannot explain it to you guys all right now anyway. That'd be impossible. But what I can do is imagine this for my traditional sports fans out there. Lakers versus Celtics. Boston Red Sox versus New York Yankees. That's how much it's a deep-rooted rivalry here between G2 versus Fnatic. And they put it on for the last game of the day. Whew, I cannot wait to have these games back. And you guys know it's a super week this time around. So we're going to test Chaz. Let's see how many predictions he's going to get right. Now, he'll know mostly how these teams will play by next week. It won't really matter. We'll have some fun with it this time around. So we'll do We'll do the big marquee matchups. As you guys know, that's Koi, that's Rogue. They rebranded. I don't know why, but
Trash.
G2 versus XL.
I got G2
versus XL. So this is Rogue. Yeah, Rogue is.
Yeah, Koi. I got Koi. TH versus the Strauss was like
Heretics.
Okay, Team Heretics. I had Team Heretics, but it was like
that's good because the Strauss is garbage.
Yeah, because that was
Mad
for me.
Lions. Mad Lions versus SK.
I got Mad Lions. I got Mad Lions versus SK.
This is.
I got Fnatic, but
people know that Bo is an extremely hyped up jungler right now. Now the thing with Bo is there's been years I've watched the NBA where a player is so hyped up where like his opening game, it literally has to be some of the best carry shit ever. Other than that, people are just so down on you after that. That's how like Bo is literally coming in like LeBron when he first came into the league and everyone was hyping him up actually as like the next best thing. That's how much hype Bo has right now. It's on some legitimate LeBron James level shit. He has to have a really good opening game. Especially against Fnatic, who's obviously one of Vitality's biggest competitors and winning a split, actually. Will Fnatic beat Vitality? Oh, fuck. Probably. I think so. I think you're right about that one. But I definitely want Bo to have a game. I definitely want that. Bo is Ken V2? I hope not. I really hope not. And Fnatic versus G2 is your big Celtics versus Lakers match. G2, you better win this one. I don't think Fnatic are going 0-2. I think they'll go 1-1. I think G2 will definitely go 2-0.
I think G2 goes 2-0.
This is another big matchup right here. XL. What's an NBA team that's constantly always dog shit trying to get fucking first round draft picks to be better? Like the
Orlando Magic.
That's true. That's fine.
Detroit Pistons.
Yeah. So XL were basically like they were trying to get recycled good pieces each year. We built this piece here, we built that piece here. Kind of like some trust the process shit.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Pretty much, yeah. So now they finally this year have there's no ifs, ands, ors, or buts now, but they have a good roster this time around. There's no excuses this time around. But now, this time against Rogue, Otawamne is on XL now. Remember who Otawamne was on Rogue. Otawamne is now on XL. So Otawamne's revenge against Koi. Is that going to happen? I don't know. I don't think it's happening this time around. Not this time around. Is he going to
be coy about it?
Fuck you. Koi goes 2-0.
I shouldn't be able to make that joke, but that's a nasty joke. Why Koi? The fuck? Rogue was better. Rogue sounded more gangster. Yeah, nigga, we Rogue.
This is the match of the century right here. SK Gaming versus BD. That's that. I'm gonna throw up watching this.
This is like the year what's that fucking World Series that was dog shit as fuck?
This is like when the fucking Rams faced the Patriots when the Rams got destroyed.
Oh my god, that bullshit ass. Yeah, that's the best. 13-3. That was
probably the worst Super Bowl I've ever watched in a lot. No, the Broncos Seahawks one was really bad too.
40, but at least they had scoring. But that was bad too. That was, oh my god.
This is like, guys, we're talking like this team. I mean, I power ranked this team at like 9th or 8th, I think. This is literally a 10th versus 9th place team. I mean, you're gonna have these matches anyway. It happens, but thank God that's the opening match and they put the best matches for last. These are all the best matches for last. Thank God. But
9 a.m. Ain't nobody gonna be awake for that shit in America. 9 a.m. What is it? 9 a.m. on a Sunday? Oh, nigga, I'm gonna be asleep. Waking up for local.
You're not trying to wake up for SK versus BDS?
Okay. This is gonna happen. By the time I'm going to locals, I'm watching the Koi XL game on the train. By the time locals start, it's when Fnatic and G2 are playing. That means I'll be playing.
You might be awake for this in the morning. You might be awake for this one.
I'll be going to the train station at that time.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
The only one I'll be able to watch
the last 2 games, right?
No, Madeline and Charlotte, because that's the only one where I'll be actually home. Because I'll still be asleep at 9. I'll be awake by 10. I'm getting just by 11. I'm on the train by 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, G2. All right, so here's my predictions. So next week we can look back on them. G2, Rogue. Fuck this name. Corey. Heretics, Mad, Fnatic. But I caveat here. I do want Bo to have a great game. If Vitality win, I'm happy with that. I'm cool with that. I still have no faith in Fnatic either. I think Fnatic are going to be a 4th place team by the time the split's over anyway. I'm not predicting that. I just don't give a fuck, honestly.
I go SK.
Here,
but
let's flip a coin. Let's actually just flip a coin.
I go SK. It's like.
All right, let's flip a coin.
It's
it really
like
doesn't matter. Actually,
heads we get Lennon, tails we get Miss 1776.
All right, so which one's Lennon? Is she SK Gaming? All right, you guys see right here. There's heads right there. There's tails,
heads, you give me head. Like with heads, you give me head.
All right,
tails, I get the booty.
Tails, Team BDS, and heads is SK Gaming. All right, SK Gaming is winning.
Jesus Christ. That's fucking. Oh man.
Oh great, SK Gaming opening. Thank you, fucking Riot.
They know SK Gaming is garbage.
Sure, ain't no fans watching these games.
SK and BDS are the first two matches. I feel like they're going to be the first two matches.
These are getting their asses blown. These teams are starting 0-2. They're not winning. Because remember, factor this in. One of them has to start 0-2 because they face each other in the opening week. This is a super week. One of these teams two teams will go 0-3 or at least end up 1-2. Factor that in, guys. So SK Gaming on Monday versus Heretics.
Heretics.
This one's Excel.
I think Excel is going
to. Okay, that should be a bet. Who starts 0-3? SK Gaming, Astralis, or SK Gaming? One of these guys is going 0-3.
Wait a second.
All depends on which one you
pick.
Who
does Astralis play game day 2?
Astralis plays Heretics. Astralis plays Heretics, Mad Lions, and G2.
Oh God. Astralis, I would not be surprised.
Astralis will probably maybe get one win.
I think they'll upset Mad Lions and they get smoked by G2. But I would not be surprised if they go 0-3.
I think this is their only win of the week. Maybe if they have a chance. Maybe.
I'm telling you right now, if they lose that first game, I have no faith that they're winning the next two. SK, I'm telling you right now, Astralis and SK could both go 0-3.
I mean, they're predicted 9th and 10th, so that's very realistic.
Because think about it, both of them, I think, don't both of them face Mad Lions within the first week?
SK Gaming face Team BDS, Mad Lions, and Heretics. So there's a good chance they start 1-2. There's a good chance they start 2-1. If they start 2-1, I know that shit's not real. I know it's just week 1 shit that goes on.
Motherfuckers try to, ramp up. They go 2-1 and they don't win another game for the rest of the season. That happened this year with some.
Well, because that happens because it's different. So you know how the LCS has it. Okay, so the LEC this time around, it used to be the way you're thinking with the LCS. It's a single round robin of BO1s. So if you don't finish in the top 8, you're out. So if you finish 9th and 10th, you're out, then it goes to a bracket format and you play BO3s. In BO3s, SK Gaming is definitely not winning any BO3s. That's not gonna happen. If they do make it in.
Yeah, because the adjustments is just too strong against them.
No, because adaptation, even if they win, let's say they play a BO3 and they win game 1, their adaptation won't be too strong. There's no way. And if it is, I'm gonna slit my fucking throat. All right, Heretics, XL, G2. That's another big match of the week right there. Fnatic versus Koi.
I want to go Koi, but I think it's gonna be Fnatic. I think
Koi wins this.
I think Fnatic pulls out the upset.
As you guys know, Koi is the current reigning champion. So the current reigning champion has to face Fnatic, a team that they are kind of competing with. XL, a team they're definitely competing with. And they're also facing. They have one easy game, 2 very hard games potentially.
I think they got 1 easy game, 1 mid game of Fnatic. Like that could be a trap game.
Mad ends off the week.
I got Mad. I think Mad.
I think Vitality win this one. This is a more Vitality win. Vitality also. A lot of these guys have very hard schedules this week around. This week is gonna be very, very like telling for a lot of these teams. This is hard games for a lot of these people. Matt has to face Astralis. SK. Okay, Matt has the easiest schedule by far. Yeah. They should. Matt should finish 2-1.
I think Matt should finish 3-0.
If Matt don't finish 3-0, that's sad.
No, if they don't finish at least 2-1, that's telling. I think there's. I've always said there's a trap game where sometimes it's like when
you think you're gonna win it, but you end up losing that one.
Yeah,
that happens a lot too. No, I see what you're saying.
but I think Mad Lions got the easiest. I think Koi got the they got a trap game in.
So right here you have Koi versus XL, Fnatic versus G2, and Fnatic versus Koi. It's some big match. There's some great matchups here too. Like I know the strength of schedule is hard for some teams. These are some great games to open up the LEC 2023 Winter Split, and that's it for the Super Week. Remember, guys, it's Super Weeks this time around for the LEC, and then this is next Saturday. So this is all our games. Let me run down my predictions once again. G2, Koi, Heretics, Mad Lions, Fnatic.
Yep.
SK Gaming.
Yep.
God.
I
Mad
got
Lions. This one I picked Vitality.
I got Heretics on that one.
This one's Koi.
Yeah, I'm going Koi, but barely.
This is G2.
Yeah, G2. I got it.
That's Heretics for sure. That's XL.
I got G2.
Koi.
I'm going Fnatic, but I'm partly rooting for Koi, but I still hate the fucking name change.
I'm going for Matt and Vitality win this one. All right, so that's it.
I'm going Mad Lions.
Now we talk about what we saw in the LPL. Now, I swear, if I play with a person and they build as dog garbage as Gala did in this game, I want you reported to the FBI.
And I'm telling you also,
sprinted it.
If you let me game one build Lucianami with Rise
and Elise and Nar,
yeah,
you might as well not even walk on the Rift. You might as well just not play the game actually.
And then the captain's like, "Oh, the other team has advantage." I'm like, ugh.
I think they meant the enemy team. The other team has the advantage.
No,
right?
that's what they did. They said that the enemy team has an advantage. I'm like, where? Like Lucian has poke.
No. The advantage of going home early and eating dinner.
Yeah,
that's the advantage.
Lucian has poke and Nami's out there just, oh my god, just stunning them with ease. It's just, it's oh my god,
that shit was bad. I've never seen such a damn troll draft like that in my life.
I'm just looking. I'm like,
we're sitting there going like, it's like you're watching a train crash and you're just watching it crash. You know it's gonna crash.
It feels like when I play solo queue and like one time, like I chose Nami just because it was like, oh okay, I'm choose Lucian, and then they banned Yumi. It's like I'm not playing Yumi. Why would you ban Yumi? No, I'm playing Nami. Oh, just because you switch at the last second. I'm like, okay.
So this was the matchup Invictus Gaming versus RNG. As you guys know, I root for RNG in the LPL. They don't have Xiaohu anymore. Xiaohu's the king of spring. They're not playing Ming. So the long-standing veterans of RNG are finally not on their roster anymore after 6 years of being on RNG.
Yep.
Invictus Gaming were the 2018 World Champions. We're going to probably like, oh, I remember the IG. They won Worlds before. A very different IG compared to 5 years ago, guys. This is a very different roster. Now, the new top laner coming in, YSKM? Yeah, YSKM, super hyped up solo queue talent right now. Absolutely destroyed Breathe. Now, there are so many things wrong in this game. Okay, so first of all, most people know why you play Caitlyn. You play Caitlyn because you are trying to get an early game advantage because Caitlyn has the second longest range for an ADC in the game. She probably has the longest, most likely has the longest, outside of like Varus and maybe Jhin or Xayah. But Caitlyn arguably has the longest range of any ADC in the game. That's why you pick her. You pick her for her long range. You get your lane advantage. You take turret plates. You rotate your jungler to Dragon with your advantage. You take Dragon. You take plates off the mid tower. You basically, and in between that, if you poke the enemy opposition enough, you dive them, and then you guys know it. I've said this stuff all before, right?
Yep.
So they pick Caitlyn, they get an advantage, they get the dragon, like what you just see there. And then Breathe decides, you know what? I'm Wang Ching Chong. I got no eyes, and I just run to the turret and die. What the fuck is that? What the hell is this person doing? Jax has his Counter-Strike, which basically stuns you under the turret, and if Jax hits you twice, the other empowered auto comes in with his Q. Great job, Breathe.
I'm not gonna lie.
Look at how troll this is.
When I watched that, I watched Kado over the. I was watching the Kado video, right, and then I could just imagine like,
my brain.
The hell is that?
If I did some shit like that in my game, I need you to just leave. I need you to get off the server. I need you to exit the game.
I just imagine Chris Tucker commentating like, what the What the hell is that? What the hell wrong with you?
What kind of shit is that?
What the hell is that? Like, damn
Like, I want people
Chin.
to understand, because remember how after the game everyone was praising YSKM, and I do agree, he played great. But Bree threw into him. Like, we need to make sure we understand. He threw into him.
Yeah, because there was somebody titled, "Oh, why can't KSM the do best top laner?" And then someone said in the chat, "Man, Breeze is feeding."
Breeze actually fed into him. Now, yes, in theory, he's kind of technically true. Like, giving over one kill doesn't like imply that you throw the whole game. But that Breeze knows better than that. Well, like that shouldn't even be a possible thing. He probably thought, "Oh, I got my Q, my autos off, I would win." It's like that you're fighting a Jax under tower, and people in the factory, he still wouldn't have won it because he wouldn't know that because it's Fog of War. Gideon was using his Maokai ult, but he wouldn't know that because it's Fog of War. He wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Right. So then right here, every team fight, they lost every team fight. So their Caitlyn advantage is over because the Caitlyn advantage you get has to eventually expire. So the Caitlyn advantage you get early on, you need to basically have a pretty sizable gold lead, about 8,000 gold, to really maximize your Caitlyn, right?
Mostly 10,000.
That'd be the more preferred one, right?
Yeah,
they don't have any of that. They're actually even in gold right here. They're basically even in gold. You see right here on the screen. They're even in gold with a
1,500 up in gold. That's like 2 kills. That's 2 kills and you're even in gold.
Yeah, their Caitlyn advantage is gone. They don't have a Caitlyn advantage. Their mid laner, what's the name? Tangwan? Tangy barbecue sauce? What the fuck is
I don't know what the fuck.
Tangy Wan.
You got a Cassante that's squishy. This motherfucker.
No, I'll say this. Breeze played the team fights kind of well. He was doing some good picks, but why walk? Fuck.
And the reason why I say he's squishy because he was just taking. He took damage a little too easily. It was like it's like you look at it, he's like, oh God. It's like of course you gonna kill the Nami. That's easy. But then it's like what the
like I want also Wheels. People forget they gave over Kassadin. They actually let them have Kassadin.
Yep.
Now, people have argued that Kassadin is not pick or ban worthy in the LPL. I say it is, but other regions I gotta kind of see if it plays out that way. Now, this is where he took out Nami. Okay, right here, and okay, Wei knocks Gideon into the wall. Remember, you still have YSKM right here who could counter-strike over the wall. You still have Dove right there, full health. You have your 2 squishies right there. Gee, I wonder what Dove is gonna do as a Kassadin when he sees a squishy white woman like Caitlyn and trying to put his fucking whole fist in her fucking tight pink pussy. I wonder what he's gonna do. Oh, he's gonna riff walk right into them. What Counter-Strike? This wasn't RNG. I was watching GNR or some shit. I don't know what team I was watching this night, but this was some troll shit. They actually got in front of a Kassadin and a Jax with 2 of the squishiest members with no tank. A tank that was already half beaten on too. Then they couldn't win any team fight. Your Caitlyn advantage is negligent. On and Nami were just Wing were just completely running them down. Tangwan, he never played well on Syndra. Bunny ran it down. This is all running down. This is all trolled. This is all bad. Sure, go to game 2. Like they're probably really tilted out after game 1. Because they gave over Kassadin, the top laner ran it down. Wei was just complete garbage. I don't know what kind of Chinese ramen he was eating, because that shit sucked. That Poppy play was trash. Man finished 1-6.
That's something I would do. No, trust me. There be games where I'm just running down like a motherfucker. I'm like,
going to sprint Olympics.
Yeah, I'm out here sprinting like motherfucking Usain Bolt up in this bitch. Like,
oh god. So this was game 2 where they get the advantage off of the bot lane. Not bot lane, my bad. The mid jungle duo. And then right there, solo kill in the bot lane. So the bot lane automatically loses in the 2v2. 5 minutes in, right? 5 minutes in. Yep, that's 3 minutes. 3 minutes in. 3 minutes in, the mid laner, Dove, already forces 2 of them back because Wei tries to go for a greedy invade. It doesn't work. They're sitting there going like, what is going on? I know RNG can play much better than this. Did they lose the 2v2? Why would Bunny get in front of them like that as a karma? Then Breeze is just losing because he just wanted to lose tonight. He wanted to go home and just, I don't know, eat cup of noodle, or I don't know what the fuck these people eat, actually. Wei was like, Wei got caught out. This is all bad. Okay, people, this is all bad. This whole series sucked. I mean, IG played really well, but RNG, I mean, running it down is more than an understatement.
RNG griefed. It was just...
Then Wei knows they're diving right there, and Wei's like, you know what? I'll just go over there and help. I could go top lane and probably dive him, but no, I'll just go bot lane and just give over 2 kills. Like, that's going to help you so much, right? Right, Wei? Like, you'll just go bot lane knowing there's 4 people there. You're a squishy Maokai, 0 and 2, very under CS, very under item utilization. Fed Lucian 4 and 0. It was the one thing to give over Lucian and Nami in game 1. They gave it over twice because they thought they could counterpick it with Karma and Caitlyn, which they got a decent early advantage with Karma and Caitlyn in game 1. But On and Wink were like, it's not the little advantage you get from Caitlyn is negligible against Lucian and Nami. Then they tried diving YSKM. They kill him. Dove comes up there. Dove gets a trade back kill. All the meanwhile, you see how mid and bot are all pushing. They're just getting everything on the map. This is embarrassing. This is atrocious to look at. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be RNG for the whole split, and it is week 2, and Bunny's just caught out because reasons. He's trying to go home. He's trying to just see his anime or some shit. What the fuck does this kid watch? I don't know. He's trying to watch Naruto or whatever. He's running it down. Wei's caught out again. Look at this troll shit these people are doing, man. I swear, I can't accuse people of match fixing, but god damn, this looks like match fixing. And you know what the worst part about all this stuff is, guys? Gala built a damn Bloodthirster as his first item in one of these games. If I put with an ADC, and I swear to god, if one of you guys build Bloodthirster's first item, I'm reporting you to the FBI. Then Breathe just loses against Jax as a Fiora, so that doesn't mean anything. Remember, they dove this guy, put him behind, and he ends up winning the 1v1 against the guy that got all the help. Remember, he built Bloodthirster in game 1. Bloodthirster. Yep. He built better. Look how in this game, he got Gale Force and Rapid Fire Cannon. Gee, I wonder why you get those 2 items first. Gee, I wonder why. I only could imagine what you get those for. But yeah, this was one of the worst BO3s I've ever watched in my life. I've never seen RNG grief this hard. And people are gonna be like, but they have a new mid and new support. Okay, that is just fucking capping. That no one can play this bad on this earth. Well, no, there was that Blitzcrank game we actually saw. Also, shout out to Ruler. Shout out to Ruler. My boy got a pentakill on his first LPL game debut on his super team JDG. Rookie looked really, really good on TES. RNG did look good against OMG. People were like, but they look good against OMG. Yeah, I mean, if you score 70 points against an autistic kid, does that make you good?
Oh, shit.
I mean, I guess. All right, so the final match we're going to cover today is the opening matchup for the LCK 2023 Spring Split. You have D plus Kia versus DRX, Barrel versus Deft. A rematch, not a rematch because that's his former teammate, actually. It's like a grudge match against the current World Championship winners, actually, for the LCK. As you guys know, the LCK is the best region in the world, as Worlds definitely prove that, right? Yep. This is the game that Chaz wanted to go over, and I had my brain with an aneurysm when I watched this.
I was laughing because it's like, what the fuck what is these people just letting people draft certain people, like third champions? I'm just sitting there like.
And this is the thing: if you can't fight against Lucian and Nami, your ego shouldn't go. Well, we'll just let them have. Well, we'll just pick something better into it. No, ban it away.
You went Zeri, Yumi, and Yumi's been getting a little nerfed here and there, but it's like that is bad.
Also, Canyon. I'll let people. Well, hey guys, Peanut went 0 and 2 in his first opening matchup in the LCK, but Canyon won pretty convincingly. Whatever. I was told Peanut's better. Whatever. It doesn't matter anymore.
But see, I ain't gonna lie. I saw the games with Peanut. Peanut kind of he looked good, but it wasn't anything spectacular.
So the bans here, DK, they ended up having some pretty good bans there. I think the bans are fine overall, but as you guys will see, pro players will think they can play a better matchup into it, and they actually think they can just either outlane it or they'll just have a game plan to subsidize the advantage that a potential really good power pick like Lucian Nami will have. Now, this game, it's all Canyon early on. Canyon having Elise really does add in a benefit for DK. Pure Factor, if he can play Elise like this and have games like that, Pure Factor, when you go into the playoffs later on this split, that's gonna be a huge advantage. You have to ban that away from him, or he takes over the game. Actually, he took over the game on Elise. Remember, people in the chat were calling it Canyon Gaming.
Yeah.
Let me shove this dog. You talk for a second.
Okay. See, with this game here, you got this is where drafting comes into effect. It's like you got Zero that gets caught out, and Yumi's getting smoked. Come on, son. Like the minute 80 carry's gone, it's like Yumi's gone. You have like the team fight wasn't bad, but it was like it wasn't like anything spectacular. It was like
Barrel. Like Barrel should really not be on Yumi because that really limits Barrel's playmaking. This was great. I was like Kana popping off. Now I was very skeptical of Damwon picking up Kana because he really ran it down on non-shit Red Force last year, but he played great. Now I want people to understand this though. It's really good to look like that when you have players like Showmaker and Canyon on your team. It's very good to look like that. But he was out there just styling on Rascal. Like he did very, very good in his. He individually looked very good on his own, and I cannot take that away from him. I was just skeptical because he more than ran it down last year. So then you see DRX trying to, get a any advantage. Kana, was it Kana? No, that wasn't Kana. Okay, so
this was the team fight where I lost faith in DRX.
So this comp right here is okay. So the reason why you picked Talia is you picked Talia to roam and dive lanes and have the advantage. Yeah, that's not going to happen against Showmaker. Showmaker and Canyon don't care if you're going to scale up. They're just going to just torch you in the early game. If you look at the match, we're 21 minutes in. For this comp to really do anything, it has to hit at least 30 minutes. Showmaker and Canyon are not going to let you hit 30 minutes. That's not going to happen with them. They're basically, I mean, they can play really well in the late game too, but they don't really like playing late game. They want to just destroy you early on. What Elise is a literal early game jungler. You pick Elise to have a massive early game advantage. That's why you pick Elise. They're not trying to scale up. That's not what they're doing here. They want to just be like, hey, Canyon's like, I'm going to put my 3-inch Asian cock on the table and flex at all this dude. I don't know what Kroko was doing. Kroko existed as a jungler, but I don't know what he was doing.
He was getting smoked.
He was playing League of Legends, but not any good League of Legends, actually. This was a statement game by Deft. Also, Deft versus, DRX. He definitely wants to beat his former organization. And
he wants to prove that he's the reason why they won, in a sense.
Jeez, I don't know why he walked there, personally. They can't do anything. They're on the opposite side of the map. This was embarrassing by DRX, and I do feel bad for Barrel. They put him on Yumi game 1, very much hindering his playmaking ability as a support. Game 2 really wasn't anything better. It's probably even worse.
No, it was worse. Because
it probably was worse.
The reason why game 2 was worse, because this was the game where everyone saw, because early game, DRX had an advantage. It was like, nah. It looked like DRX was just winning everything, but they weren't ahead in gold.
Right. Watching this game, it never felt like, damn, we're ever gonna lose.
They won draft, but it was like barely.
I think DRX's draft is probably a bit better, maybe, kinda. But when Barrel is getting solo killed in a 2v2,
yep.
Tilt might be settling in. He's like that's when you start losing faith in your teammates right there. Because they were drafting Zeri because for Deck Dom, because they were trying to give him. They know he's not going to be able to carry games. So I know people are going to be like, but didn't he carry games on Aphelios at Worlds? He's not a consistent carry player like that. He just isn't. There are going to be some games where you can give him champions like Aphelios, like Jinx, where he can carry. But that's not going to be like, you can't bank on that. He's not a carry-ish ADC. It's more like a, hey, I'll you know how the banning phase goes where you pick certain champions
Yeah.
or something. He's like, okay, I'll just take Zeri and I'll just play the scale.
I'm gonna tell you why people saw that DRX was ahead. They had 2 Drakes, but the issue is they were down 1,000 gold. That's not a lot, but the thing is, it took how long did it take DRX to get it for kill? 26 minutes?
In this game, I think they got a kill very early on, actually.
No, DRX. DRX didn't get a kill.
You're right. You're absolutely, yeah, you're right. About 27 minutes, actually.
Yeah, it was like because they couldn't engage. They were good at getting Drakes because they was able to catch Dan Juan all sides. You know, they're over here doing one thing with the Herald, and then they get the Drake. But then look, they just get.
Canyon was on Lee Sin. He was absolutely just running them down.
Oh my god!
Canyon had one mistake. Remember the mistake where he lost the Rift Herald, but that really didn't matter when
it mattered in a sense because he got caught slipping, but then it was like DRX didn't capitalize on it at all, and then this was like, oh yeah, I escaped. You're getting this 3-1 jumped.
Yeah, and then Rascal is like, you know what? I'm gonna split push right now, even though my team is completely just not with me. Fate uses his Chaos Storm, all of his mana, so he has no way to really escape outside of his flash. He knows he's in a bad spot. He can't do anything. Probably should have saved that Gravity Field and Chaos Storm. Def played really well in the series. If I had an MVP, I'd give it to Canyon. I think Canyon is their MVP of this game, actually.
Yep.
All right, so that was this series. This was the opening match of the LCK, and it looked so good. Like, this is still week 1, and I understand it's week 1,
but
it's a pretty good thing.
This was a statement game.
This was a pretty good statement from Gam DK. I'll never get that fucking name. This is a good, nice game from DK. Damn one to still show that Showmaker and Canyon are not players you definitely do not want to just give over early game picks to. Especially Lee Sin. Why would you give this guy Lee Sin? I mean, that's just styling on a motherfucker right there. You can take your tank, shitty top laner, I'll take my carry and just beat the shit out of you. That'll be so demoralizing on stage if he did that to me. I'll be like, okay, I'm done. Get me another, sub me out. I'm finished mentally. This was pretty troll by DRX, actually, too. This was pretty troll by Damon. They could have ended the game. But as you guys saw, there was no chance DRX had in this game. And like last year, Damon had a lot of issues with Duck Dom and Keelan. Duck Dom is now on DRX. And you can kind of see he's DRX's problem now. Duck Dom is DRX's problem now. And
these motherfuckers, these guys literally just went from our kills and just said, okay, we're getting as many kills as we can. That's what it was too.
Oh god. Like Showmaker on Syndra, calm, cool, collected. He wasn't like making any big like outplays. He wasn't making he was landing his stuns, he was landing his ults very consistently. Keelan isn't like the best engaged support ever, but as long as you give him a role to do on the team with certain support champions, like, hey, you're gonna be on Yumi duty. Your goal is to just protect Death. He'll do that. He knows how to be a good role player, but if the meta shifts into more carry orientated supports, like engaged supports, we'll have to see how that goes. But if it's just gonna be an enchanter support meta like Lulu and Yumi, that's fine, honestly. Yep. But this was DK just completely ran through them. That is embarrassing. But that should be expected. DK is supposed to be a top 4 team, and DRX is supposed to be just a playoff team. So that's just how that really goes, you know?
Yep.
Krakow, when he was running 0-4. Krakow didn't have a brain that game. I don't know what happened to him there. I guess Canyon just got into his head, you know? Imagine a guy get into your head that hard. If you get in someone's head that hard, they'll just completely run it down.
Exactly. Because like every time you do a move, they just counter and just sitting there like easy. This is cookies.
Oh my god. Well, guys, that is pretty much it. Is there any matchup
I think we got one last matchup we got to talk about.
Which one do you want to go over?
T1 versus Genji.
I didn't really watch that one, actually.
I
gotta watch that. So what happened with that one?
T1 just smoked Genji.
I retract what I said just a little bit. Genji, I saw the part where they were winning their early game and they were going into mid, and then they threw it.
Yep.
Let me guess, they threw further than that.
Oh my god, they threw it off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, it's Genji. That they're gonna do that. They just.
I think the best person to watch it through is LS, because LS reaction is the
LS has the best breakdowns for the Korean games though.
Like because I watched game 1, I'm like, all right, T1's gonna sweep. This is gonna be a 2-0. And then I just went to sleep.
There are some teams in the LCK, man.
But but the thing is, Faker wasn't playing as he wasn't like top tier playing. Like he wasn't like
he's usually like the 4th best mid in the LCK. It's been long since he was the best. He's usually always like a top 4 LCK mid. He can be a role player. He can be a character. He's mostly a role player now.
But who's the mid for Genji?
Chovy. Chovy, as he's hyped to be one of the best mids in the LCK.
Chovy looked like he was choking. I don't know and he wasn't playing bad, but my goodness, it was just
no. We were arguing about Showmaker.
Faker was playing bad, and
remember how we were talking about Chovy and Showmaker?
Yeah,
James, remember he was trying to argue for Chovy. Look at how Showmaker just played with his team compared to what Chovy probably did. I don't have to watch the Genji game and know he probably just CS'd in lane and just stood there mostly, right?
He just took bad engages. He was just everything where it was like, damn, this seemed like shit I would do, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing half the time. And it was like it was like he was doing good shit, and it was just like, okay, all right, okay, what the fuck is he doing? What is he doing? Because it's like,
jeez, man. Like, if you have me, I'm always gonna say this, and people probably think I'm trolling. If you give me 2 players to build a roster around, I am taking Showmaker every single time. I will literally get on my knees and give that man every ounce of ramen if whatever he wants.
Well, I'll tell you this though, like, beware of Faker.
He's always gonna be he's the best role player. He's gonna always be good.
Because also, what the fuck is it with people game 1? Because this is also another game where Genji let T1 have Lucian Nami. What the fuck is going on? They gave Faker Azir. I think it was Azir. Kyria had Nami, of course. You know, Gumayusi had Gumayusi had.
I'll make sure I go over that series. I'll make sure I go over that series, and then on Monday we'll cover it a bit more. So I saw up until a certain point, and then I fell asleep. These games come on so late, guys.
I
would sit and watch the whole thing, but your boy got to be going to bed for work, you know.
Yeah,
but I did watch game 1 of Hanwha Life versus Kwangdong, because Hanwha Life is a super team. That's the team you should look out for. Hanwha Life has Zeka. Remember Zeka and Kingen?
Yeah.
They're on Hanwha Life. And Zeka, if you watch at least game 1 of Kwangdong versus Hanwha Life, that was such a banger. Zeka has not skipped a beat. He is still going to be one of the best mids in the LCK.
Okay. What channel would have that one? Or
that was the LCK.
LCK, that's me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just look for the LCK.
LCK. Why don't you just? Here's what I do. Here, I'll just give you this one that we just used.
Okay, let me just go look for the LCK.
Let me give you this history, because this will make you be able to consume games a bit quicker without actually watching the whole thing. You can watch the whole thing; it's fine too. Here's this here. I'm pretty sure you're already subbed to this one. If you're not, just let me know. I'll just drop the link in the private chat.
Okay.
That way, if you can't consume the games live, you can always have that.
Nivea Games. Mm-hmm. You don't have any stuff on the channel.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Nivea Games.
Games?
Cyberpunk 2077.
No, that's what I sent you.
You don't have anything.
I'll send it to you again. Here, I'll drop it in. I'll drop it in Messenger. It should work. Or just type up this and you'll find it.
Okay.
Oh my god! Why my computer? Fuck! This computer just randomly freezes. Jeez.
Oh, Nivea highlights. Okay, because
you found it.
Okay, yeah, because you sent me something that they only had 46 subscribers. I was like,
that'd be pretty bad. All right.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Just in case you ever miss certain games, you can always just go to watch watching highlights in League is a bit different than watching highlights in traditional sports, but it's relatively the same thing.
Okay. Okay. HLE versus KDF. That's the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Game 1 is such a banger.
I'll watch that in a bit.
I've used this channel because I got to go over Genji versus T1 too.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. As you guys know, like I mentioned before at the top of the show, we got to do the Cloud9 podcast is going to be Monday and Tuesday, LCS, LEC. The LEC will have the Monday slot or Tuesday slot this week because the LCS doesn't really start until Thursday. So after the LEC games, I'll cover them either Monday or Tuesday. We'll see how that goes for this week. Yeah. We'll just play it by ear. So because remember, guys, on Monday, since we're having the Cloud9 podcast on Mondays again around like 7 or 8, that gives me enough time to watch the rest of the games that I probably would miss. Or if you want them on Tuesday, we'll just play it by ear. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Anything else you want to say, man, before we close out this actually?
Yeah, guys, stop giving people easy picks game 1. Yes. Oh my god.
I swear to God, if I see teams give over Lucian, Nami, and draft Zeri and Yumi, I'm thinking that's an auto win.
If I see a team where it's like you kind of pick your own picks by letting them, let's bring in these champions, but I'm like, I was like, yeah, it was y'all gave Faker Azir game 1. I'm like, oh, you guys are, oh god, and then it was. Game 1 wasn't even close. Game 2 was closer. It was like, I was like, wait a second. That's the one champion I'm banning every time. Like, I'm not giving. I'd rather give him Galio than Azir. That's oh my god. That game 1 was just that was
you mean one sec, guys? I gotta write down. There's another new trailer drop. So I have other trailer reactions that are gonna be dropping. I have another Batman one that dropped. I reacted to the new Scream 6 trailer, which is awesome. I finally dropped my trailer reaction for Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania. I hope Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania is pretty good. I hope it's pretty good.
Same here. Okay. Depending on if I don't work Thursday, I'll probably go watch it that night.
Yeah. Those are movies you watch opening night kind of thing. Usually depends on the day. That's why I try to say, like, as you guys know, this year I'm trying to make sure I free up Thursday just in case I want to go watch a movie myself, or there's a big blockbuster release. Because usually on Thursdays, big blockbusters come out on Thursdays new, and that's like the only day I can get to the theaters, actually.
Yep.
Steven Crowder. Oh, my goodness. This guy. It's like, bro, he's the one who chose to air out the dirty laundry first. I still don't believe the contract was that bad. I like that he compared it to, like, slave wages and making $50 million. That makes whatever. It's okay. I'll cover it on my other show. It's okay. I don't believe for 1 second this guy is out there looking out for small content creators. No way. I so doubt it. Like, if people are looking out for small content creators, then put them on your YouTube channel then. Feature them. Let them do guest uploads on your channel then.
Yep.
Live. I don't know why my notes tab is not loading. What the heck? My notes tab is not loading, guys, but whatever. I'll see you guys next week. Actually, there won't be 2 episodes next week. There might be. Since the LCS is starting just next week, we can do another episode. If it's 2 episodes covering LPL and LCK, we'll just have to pick out a few BO3s and then just, go over them, actually. So, yeah. Anything else you want to say, man, before we head out? What you working on? Got anything going on?
No, I got a bunch of stuff that's going on. That's why I'm just being busy. You should see a video tomorrow. I just been extremely busy with just life and stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me. This shouldn't be loading. I'm trying to load up my task manager right now. My notes tab is not loading, and it's making me angry. I usually have my notes tab so I can type up what I have to do usually.
Yeah.
It's always any aspiring content creator out there. Make sure you write shit down. Very, very, very integral to keeping your track of what you have to do and what videos you might need to do that day. Details.
Exactly.
Where's my notepad? All right, the season is underway, and we're going to be giving you guys a whole lot more episodes of this show this year. See you guys later. #C9win. Peace.